The morning of Ada's wedding started with clouds hanging low over the small village, as if the sky itself sensed the unease under her family's roof. Inside, the Okafor household was swarming with laughter and excitement, but none of that warmth reached Ada's corner of the house. She sat quietly on the edge of her neatly made bed, listening to the bustle in the hallway, the rustle of silk, the ringing of a distant phone, the endless giggles and heels clicking against tiled floors. Her dress was simpler than her stepsister Chica's, her shoes plain ivory, a borrowed pair from her aunt. Nobody seemed to notice. Nobody except for Ada's mother. Chica twirled in front of the grand bedroom mirror, her voice a constant stream of excitement. "This is the happiest day of my life," she called, not really to Ada, but to anyone who would listen. Mama Okafor clapped her hands in delight. "The Igui family will never forget this union. Just look at you, Chica. A real queen." Large gold earrings bounced against Chica's powdered cheeks as she modeled her lavish gown. For weeks, the entire community had awaited the arrival of Chica's groom with hungry anticipation. Everyone knew he was from a wealthy family in the city, a man of influence and promise. The celebration had been planned down to the smallest flower. Ada's wedding was more of an afterthought. "Don't embarrass us," her stepmother whispered before the ceremonies began. "Smile. Nod. Do what you're told." Ada felt the words sting, but she swallowed her pride silently. She had stopped expecting kindness, but she wasn't bitter, only tired. Downstairs, the hall echoed with music and laughter. Guests filled the house with expensive perfumes and loud, familiar voices. Plates rattled, children chased each other, and in a corner, Ada's father, Mr. Okafor, nervously adjusted his tie. "Let us all gather, the grooms will arrive soon," shouted Uncle Emeka, face bright with anticipation. The guests assembled, phones at the ready, eager for city cars, perhaps even a convoy. Minutes passed, then a shiny black SUV decorated with ribbons rolled slowly down the road. A ripple of awe swept across the crowd. Everyone's attention turned to Chica. When the doors opened, out stepped her groom. Tall, suited, smiling shyly, a glint of gold from his wristwatch. A clamor of ululations and clapping filled the air. Chica beamed, swishing her gown as Mama Okafor scurried out to lead her by the arm. Photographers elbowed their way forward. "Where's the other groom?" someone whispered. At that moment, a creak sounded at the end of the road. Ada, standing meekly by the veranda, saw him first. A thin, unremarkable man in a crisp shirt and trousers, slowly pedaling a rusted blue bicycle. No ribbons, no convoy. The guests fell into whispers and laughter. Ada's cheeks flamed as her stepmother hissed, "God, what kind of disgrace is this? Does he have no shame?" Neighbors nudged each other. Phones raised now out of mockery. Someone snapped a picture. "Watch, he will carry his bride on the back like a sack of yams," one cousin cackled. The man Obinna stopped, placed his bicycle gently by the gate, and dusted off his hands. His shoes were polished, his hair tidy, but the laughter did not cease. He approached Ada, meeting her eyes with an apologetic smile. "I am sorry I am late," he said softly, just for her. Ada swallowed, her heart pounding, not from shame but from the weight of all those eyes. "It's all right. You came," she replied, voice so quiet he had to lean in. "You came for me." Her stepmother made a show of sniffling loudly, dabbing at imaginary tears. "Family, must we go through with this spectacle?" she cried, faking sorrow. Chica feigned concern but was clearly enjoying her superior moment. "Oh, Ada, are you sure? We could still call it off." Ada looked at Obinna, saw the gentle way he steadied his hands, the way his humility didn't bow to their laughter. She nodded to her father. "Let's go on," she said, trembling but calm. "It's my choice." Her father's eyes shone with a pain that Ada understood. All her life, he had loved her silently, too weak to challenge his wife, but she forgave him even now. The officiant began the ceremony. Chica's side was boisterous, covered in gold lace and wide hats. Ada's side was solemn, their gifts smaller, their clothing simpler. When Obinna lifted Ada's veil, some guests smirked. "The bicycle bride," they whispered. "May she enjoy pedaling through life." But Ada felt strangely triumphant under the weight of their mockery. Unlike Chica's groom, who barely glanced at his new wife, Obinna looked right at Ada, steady and true. Outside, the skies darkened, thunder threatening, but Ada stood taller. In that instant, Ada made a vow as deep as any spoken. She would weather any storm with grace, and not let the cruelty of the world turn her heart sour. The rituals ended. As the family prepared to send off the brides, gifts were exchanged. Chica left in a spray of rose petals, slipping into an air-conditioned car with tinted windows, waving with practiced elegance. Obinna led Ada by the hand to the waiting bicycle. There was no umbrella, only the blossoming gray sky and the laughter of the uninvolved. But when she took her seat on the small carrier behind, Obinna turned to her and said, "Don't worry, we'll take the scenic route." It sounded like a joke, but there was a kindness there, something honest. Ada's father pressed a small parcel into her palm, nothing of value but wrapped carefully in newspaper. "My blessings, daughter," he whispered. As they rode away, the village's laughter followed them, carrying the sound through the rattling breeze. Ada's heart was heavy, but she gripped Obinna's shoulders head high. The world's eyes followed, but she was no longer ashamed. The journey to Obinna's home took longer than Ada expected. Not just because of the bicycle, but because they took a winding route away from the main road and the jeers that echoed behind them. The wheels squeaked with every turn. The seat was small and hard, but Ada found herself breathing easier with every bump. Obinna whistled softly. His voice broke the silence, unself-conscious, the tune simple and warm. After a while, Ada realized he was doing it to steady her nerves, and perhaps his own. They passed rice paddies and cassava fields, the scent of earth rising up, the world quiet except for birds and the distant lowing of cattle. When Ada glanced back at the tiny figures of the village, she felt their opinions shrinking with every petal out of sight. The world up close was honest. Only from afar did things look foolish and strange. Obinna's house, if it could be called that, was nothing like the Okafor compound. It was neat, swept, with a small vegetable garden hugging the clay walls, but modest to the point of poverty. The zinc roof shimmered in the weak sunlight. Inside, a faded woven mat and a single plastic chair. Ada didn't touch the chair. She didn't need to feel welcome. Obinna set the bicycle against the wall and turned to her, his face open, a question in his eyes. "I know it's not what you are used to," he said, searching her face. "But it is home for now." Ada looked around, taking in the patched curtains, the single blue cup on the table. "It's clean and there is peace," she responded, finally giving him a shy smile. "That is enough." They sat in companionable silence. Ada opened her father's parcel. Inside was a folded handkerchief, hand-sewn with her name. She held it tightly, feeling all the love he was too afraid to say out loud. Obinna noticed, nodded, not asking for explanation. He unpacked a small meal of cold yam and palm oil, offering her half. The first bite was humble but somehow perfect. That night the rain came. At first it was a whisper against the old roof, then a heavy drumming. Ada lay awake, restless not from discomfort, but from the sharp strangeness of her new life. She thought of Chica, dancing under chandeliers, fingers heavy with gold. She wondered if her stepsister was happier, or just louder in her joy. Obinna, sleeping on a mat behind the curtain, stirred and called out, "Are you awake?" "Yes," Ada answered. "It's the rain." A pause. "When it rains here, the frogs will sing all night," he said. Ada laughed, her voice light as a bird for the first time that day. Morning came, and with it, the village began to buzz again. Neighbors poking their heads over the fence, children shouting, women gossiping at the well. Ada gathered water, head high, even as the stares grew sharper. "Good morning, wife of A. Bicyclist," someone joked, not kindly. Ada filled her bucket, offered a small smile and walked away. As she walked back, she noticed an old woman sitting under the mango tree, clutching a torn bag. Ada paused, instinct guiding her. "Ma, do you need help?" The woman nodded vaguely. Ada helped her stand, shared her water, dusted off her wrapper. The woman gave her a single cola nut in thanks. "A small gift," she said with bright eyes, "but an honest one." Ada tucked it into her pocket. Days passed, each blending into the next like colors in the late evening sky. Ada made do with what she had. Everyday chores, meals, silent prayers. Obinna left early to work at the roadside construction site, returning every evening with weary steps. He always greeted her with a gentle "I'm home." His eyes tired but full of gratitude. Ada learned to make do, not just with less but with patience. The village still talked, but their words bounced off her quietly growing armor. She remembered her father's many warnings about pride and contentment. "A soft word can cool great fires," he once said. It was one afternoon, when the sun was fierce and the market loud with traders, that the rumor spread. Chika and her wealthy husband had returned to the city. The Okafor compound was silent, missing its queen. Mama Okafor visited Ada, her face pinched with dissatisfaction. "Ada, look at your hands, already rough, your hair untidy. Is this the life you chose? I warned you, but you never listen." Ada did not reply, only offered her a stool. The conversation was quick, filled with veiled insults about poverty and regret. But Ada saw the worry in her stepmother's eyes. A worry not about Ada, but about losing face before the neighbors. After she left, Ada swept the yard, thinking, "There are many kinds of wealth, but peace is its own kind of treasure." Obinna came home with a small scraped arm, evidence of a long day. Ada washed the wound gently, hands steady even as his sharp intake of breath gave her pause. "You're strong," he said, almost in awe. "Stronger than anyone knows." Ada didn't believe it, but she tried. Weeks melted into months. Ada's heart grew roots in Obinna's tiny house. She found laughter in small things, friendship in stray cats and the old woman under the mango tree, joy in ripening tomatoes and the quick boil of morning tea. She did not envy Chika any longer. If anything, she pitied a life forced to shine for strangers. One evening, after a long day at the market, Ada found Obinna waiting with a small package in trembling hands. "For you," he said simply. Inside was a pair of hand-carved hairpins shaped like birds. "They won't make you rich," he said, blushing. "But you deserve something fine." Ada wept quietly as he placed them in her hair. In that gesture, small but deliberate, Ada saw more wealth than in all of Chika's gold. But even simple joys attract storms. The next morning, a shadow fell across their doorstep. Two men from the city, dressed in sharp suits, bore a message for Obinna. They spoke in low tones that Ada could not hear, but she saw Obinna's shoulders stiffen, surprise flicker over his gentle face. When they left, he sat beside Ada in silence, turning a sealed envelope over and over in his hands. Ada waited, heart in her throat. Obinna finally spoke. "I have to go to the city tomorrow. I can't explain just yet, but I need you to trust me." His voice was different, lower, weighed down by something Ada couldn't name. She nodded, though her heart raced. "I trust you," she said, as always. That night, Ada pretended to sleep. Obinna sat for a long time in the dark, his profile lit only by the dim glow of the lantern and the steady patter of rain on the roof. She wanted to ask 1,000 questions, but she honored his silence. In the early hours he finally lay down, and Ada heard him whisper, so quietly she thought she might have dreamed it. "Soon, Ada. Soon." He left before dawn. Ada stood at the doorway, watching as his bicycle rolled quietly away, swallowed by the early morning mist. The sky was fragile and gray. She spent the day restless, mind swirling with worries she couldn't voice. Every sound from the road made her hope it was Obinna returning. Instead, it was always someone else. A neighbor, the old woman, children selling groundnuts. The village was alive, moving forward as if nothing had changed. But inside Ada a storm grew. The afternoon sun was already sliding westward when a car, a real city car, pulled up in front of her house. Not the type that came for weddings or funerals, not the one she saw during market days, but big, gleaming, and unfamiliar. From inside it stepped a man in neat, pressed clothes, with silver at his temples and a look of grave importance. Ada's breath caught. The man approached, nodding politely. "You are Mrs. Ada Obinna?" he asked, reading from a small notepad. She nodded, voice lost somewhere in her chest. "My name is Mr. Ease. I represent a matter of business concerning your husband. He has been called to the city for urgent family reasons," he said, pausing as if weighing every word. Ada tried to read his face, but saw only professional kindness and a hint of something else, maybe respect. "I was sent to make sure you are safe and to give you this," he continued, handing her another envelope. Ada turned it in her hand. There was no seal, no handwriting she recognized. "Thank you," she said carefully, still not understanding her role in this sudden unfolding of secrets. As dusk settled over the village, Ada sat at the small wooden table, staring at the envelope, unsure if she should open it. Her heart pounded against the quiet, noisy room. The evening was filled with the chorus of frogs, as Obinna had promised, but she felt alone in their musical world. Eventually, curiosity overcame her. She broke the seal and unfolded a single page, hands trembling. The letter was written in Obinna's hand, neat, careful, the script of someone taught by an old schoolmaster. "Ada, if you are reading this, I have gone to the city because I cannot hide any longer. I have carried secrets, not to deceive you, but because I did not know if I could ever return to the world I left behind. I want you to know that everything I have shown you, my work, my home, my promises, those are truly me. The rest you must see for yourself. I have never lied about my heart. Please trust me for just a little while longer. Soon the truth will belong to us, not to the mocking crowd. Obinna." Ada folded the letter, pressing it to her chest. The words gave her little clarity, but there was comfort in the writing, the steadiness of his claim, the vulnerability threading each line. Still, her mind raced backward. Where had Obinna gone? What secrets bound him so tightly? Were poverty and simple quiet all a disguise? The next days blurred. Obinna did not return. Ada woke, worked, and waited, always at the gate by dusk, her eyes searching the horizon. The laughter of the village grew softer. The story, it seemed, had moved on. Mama Okafor visited again, this time with Chika in tow. Her stepsister's face thin and tired beneath the powder. Curiosity and scorn warred in Chika's eyes. "So your bicycle prince has run away, Ada?" She smirked, voice brittle. Maybe all men are the same in the end, broke and full of stories. Ada met her gaze firmly, unafraid. "Some stories are worth more than money, Chika," she said quietly. Later, Chika cornered Ada away from the others, her voice lower, less sharp. Are you all right, truly?" For the first time in years, Ada heard a note of real worry in her sister's voice. Perhaps wealth in the city was not so golden after all. Ada nodded, and in that awkward moment, something softened between them. A truce built on shared losses. Nearly a week passed. Ada mended clothes, weeded the garden, sat with the old woman at the mango tree. News from the city traveled slowly, but it always came. One afternoon, Okon, the local palm wine seller, arrived with a rumor. "Ada," he said, breathless, "did you hear what happened in Lagos? The newspapers say the old chairman's missing son has returned. Some say he lived like an ordinary man. Nobody knew he was so rich." Ada smiled politely, thinking it just another village tale. Such stories swirled anytime the rich made news, and rarely did they touch simple people like her. But the sting of possibility lingered. Was this why Obinna had gone? Was there a link between her gentle, hard-working groom and this great drama? She wandered the village restlessly as dusk fell, her thoughts noisy. The old woman under the mango tree watched her pass, wise eyes following Ada's fretful steps. "Child," she called, waving her near. "What worries you?" Ada sat, lowering herself gently onto the earth. "It's Obinna. He went to the city. Everyone is saying things about secrets, riches, families lost and found. I don't understand any of it." The old woman patted her hand. "Sometimes the world hides its gold under dust and mud. The ones who laugh are the first to miss what is precious. You, just hold tight to your truth, Ada." The wisdom was like a balm, soothing Ada's pounding heart, but in the silence after, she wondered, what truth was she supposed to hold, when her world was built on questions? That night, as she lit the lantern and prepared for another sleep alone, she dreamed of Obinna, not on a bicycle but walking beside her on a broad city avenue, people parting before them, his hand warm in hers. In the distance, thunder rolled. Ada awoke before dawn, anxious for what the new day might bring. The morning sun rose with a fierce, golden intensity, burning away the mist that had clung to the village for days. Ada woke with a strange sense of anticipation, a feeling she couldn't name but couldn't ignore. She swept the compound, her movements rhythmic, her mind replaying Obina's letter over and over. Soon, the truth will belong to us. What did that mean? Was he coming back? Or was he gone forever? Lost in the labyrinth of the city? By mid-morning, the usual quiet of the village was shattered. It started with a low rumble, like distant thunder, but it didn't stop. It grew louder, deeper, vibrating through the soles of Ada's feet. Dogs began to bark, children stopped their games, and neighbors rushed out of their huts, eyes wide with confusion. "What is happening?" someone shouted. "Is it a storm?" "No," another voice cried, pointing toward the main road. Look at the dust." Ada stepped out of her gate, shielding her eyes from the glare. Down the winding dirt path, a convoy was approaching. Not one car, not two, but a line of sleek black luxury vehicles that looked like they had descended from another planet. The lead vehicle was a massive SUV with tinted windows so dark they reflected the sky. Behind it followed sedans, security bikes, and vans, kicking up a cloud of red dust that coated the palm trees. The village fell into a stunned silence. No one moved. No one spoke. Even the birds seemed to hold their breath. Who could this be? The governor? A foreign diplomat? Someone far too important for a place like this? The convoy slowed as it reached the center of the village, then, to everyone's shock, it turned sharply onto the narrow path leading directly to Ada's small house. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Mama Okafor, who had been gossiping by the well, dropped her bucket. Chica, visiting again to mock Ada's solitude, stood frozen, her mouth slightly open. The cars stopped. Doors opened in unison. Men in sharp suits and earpieces stepped out, forming a perimeter around Ada's gate. Then the door of the lead SUV opened. A tall man stepped out, adjusting his cufflinks. It was Mr. Ease, the man who had visited days before. But today, he didn't look like a messenger. He looked like a general preparing for a ceremony. He walked straight to Ada's gate, ignoring the gaping crowd. "Mrs. Ada Obina," he called out, his voice carrying authority. "Please come forward." Ada's heart hammered against her ribs. She walked slowly, her legs feeling weak. "Mr. Ease? Is Obina okay?" Mr. Ease smiled, a genuine warm smile that transformed his stern face. "Your husband is more than okay, madam. He is waiting for you. But first, we must prepare you properly." "Prepare me?" Ada echoed, confused. Before she could ask more, women in elegant uniforms stepped forward from one of the vans. They carried garment bags, shoeboxes, and jewelry cases. "We are here to assist you," one woman said gently. "Please allow us." The village watched in disbelief as Ada was led not into her small hut, but to a portable changing tent set up right there in her yard. Inside, she found a dress that shimmered like liquid gold, embroidered with intricate beads. There were shoes that felt like clouds, and a necklace that sparkled with diamonds so large they seemed impossible. "This is too much," Ada whispered, staring at her reflection. "I am just a village wife. I don't belong in these clothes." The older woman helping her shook her head firmly. "You belong wherever your heart is honored, child. And today the world will see what we already know." When Ada emerged from the tent 20 minutes later, the entire village fell silent again. She looked radiant, regal, yet still unmistakably herself. Her eyes held the same kindness, but now they were framed by confidence. Chica stared, her face pale with a mix of envy and shock. Mama Okafor clutched her chest, unable to speak. Mr. Ease bowed slightly. "Perfect. Now if you would please follow us." "Where are we going?" Ada asked, clutching the hem of her dress. "To the city hall," Mr. Ease replied. "There is a gathering. Important people have traveled from across the country. They are all waiting to meet the woman who captured the heart of the richest man in Nigeria." Ada stopped dead in her tracks. "The richest man?" she whispered. "What do you mean?" Mr. Ease gestured to the convoy. "Your husband, Ada, is not just Obina the construction worker. He is Kelvin Obina, the sole heir to the Obina global empire. He disappeared 3 years ago after a disagreement with his father, wanting to find a life where people loved him for who he was, not for his money. He lived among us, worked with his hands, and found true love in you. The world seemed to spin around Ada. The bicycle, the small house, the simple meals. It wasn't poverty born of misfortune. It was a choice, a test. And she had passed it without knowing she was being tested. Tears welled in her eyes, not of sadness, but of overwhelming realization. He hadn't lied about his heart. He had protected it. "Get in the car, madam," Mr. E said softly, opening the door of the lead SUV. "Your husband is waiting to introduce you to the world." As Ada stepped into the cool, leather interior of the car, she looked back at her village one last time. The people who had laughed, the neighbors who had mocked, the family who had shamed her, they were all standing there, small and silent in the dust. She felt no anger, only a deep, quiet peace. The truth was finally rising, and it was brighter than the sun. The convoy roared to life, tires crunching on the gravel, leaving a trail of dust and stunned silence behind. As they sped toward the city, Ada closed her eyes and whispered a prayer of thanks. She didn't know what awaited her at the city hall, but for the first time in her life, she wasn't afraid. She was ready. Inside the car, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. She opened it. It was a photo of Obina, standing on a stage, looking handsome in a tailored suit, holding a microphone. The caption read, "I told you soon. Wait for me, my love." Today the laughter stops. Ada smiled, a tear tracing a path down her cheek. The journey from the bicycle to the limousine was complete, but the real journey, the journey of the heart, was just beginning.